Hi guys, welcome to the Beanie Project, or welcome to another episode of the Beanie Project. My name's Jordan Mackey, and this is my space for spiritual guidances and wisdoms and just little life perspectives that I've learned along the way that I want to share with people in the hope that they might make someone's life easier and or better. So today I've got 6 points, key points, that I wanted to have a chat about in today's video that are generally beginning bullet points for mindfulness, which is something I'll be covering a lot more of in the next few videos, as it kind of links on very nicely from the meditation video that I last did. So I'm going to get straight into it. So off the bat, a general belief, a general perspective that's really beneficial to realise and to maintain in your day-to-day life is the fact that your daily thoughts are not you. So when you finally start paying attention to your thinking mind, what you're probably going to find is that a lot of the thoughts aren't particularly positive. Whether they're directed at other people or yourself, you may find that generally it's quite critical, quite harsh towards what's going on, quite judgmental of generally what's going on in the world or what you're thinking or what you're doing. And so it can be difficult to not then associate with these thoughts, because obviously these thoughts are inside your mind. It's very easy to get swept up in the mentality that this is you and this is just your thoughts being projected out constantly. But it's not. You are yourself, and you know yourself better than anybody else. So over time, we build up habits. Now, this is as true for us as it is for our minds. We move through life picking up trains of thought, things happen to you, develop, and then as we continuously go over and over and over and over these trains of thought, they become habitual thoughts. And it can be easy to convince yourself that you are responsible for them, you're the reason that they're here, they're your thoughts at the end of the day, why wouldn't you be? But that is completely rubbish. The thinking mind, the voice inside your head, is like a chattering monkey. It's going to throw constant, or as I've referred to it in the past, a very young child. It's not necessarily paying attention to what's going on in the rest of the world, it's just making a lot of noise about whatever the first thing that grabs its attention is. So yeah, a fantastic belief to start with is simply the fact that your daily thoughts are not you. They're habits that are formed over time and spontaneously spring up throughout your day in reaction to whatever's happening. But if you listen to what your thinking mind is saying and actually analyse it, you'll probably find it doesn't align with who you are. You'll probably realise being silly or over emotional, reactive. So yeah, the ones that really matter, the thoughts that really matter, it's not every thought that pops into your head, it's just the ones that you choose to pay attention to. Whichever thought you choose to feed is the one that matters. So don't get too caught up being hard on yourself for having negative thoughts. I think more people than is generally considered known do. I think more people suffer with that than most of us would care to think about. The second point I want to talk about is the issue of the self and the fact that the self is an illusion. Who you are is not necessarily real. It's an image of yourself that you have built up over your entire life through all of your memories, everything that's happened to you, all the experiences you've been through. They help you build up this image of yourself, and this becomes your self, who you think you are. And it might be hard to get your head round, and it might sound silly at first, but hear me out. This is a complete illusion. Complete and total. It's something that we create in our own heads to feel like we know who we are through time. And I've spoken a little bit before about past and future being illusions as well, and this is kind of what I'm referring to, where the you that was here yesterday doesn't exist anymore, because yesterday doesn't exist anymore. It's yesterday, that time is past, and the you that is tomorrow doesn't exist because that's not here yet, it doesn't exist yet. Tomorrow isn't here now, yesterday isn't here now, the only time that is here now is now. And so it can be really amazing and really freeing and liberating to then realise that actually you're not tied to who you used to be. You don't owe that person anything. If you want to be something, be it. If you want to change something about yourself, do it. If you want to stop doing something, stop. If you want to start, because you can. The only you that really exists and is really alive and really matters and has all of the control and all of the power in your life is the you that is here right now, watching this, listening to me. And you can do anything. Because you can. What's physically stopping you in this moment? Not much. So, you can do what you want. Obviously, I don't mean that means you can fly. Please don't jump out any windows trying. But hypothetically speaking, towards self-improvement, change of the self, acknowledgement of behaviour and the adjustment therefore, or the adjustment thereof, sorry. All of that is achievable in this moment, right now. And there is literally nothing stopping you from doing it. So the third point that I then wanted to move on to is more of a general perspective to have moving through life, rather than it's more something for you to do than a belief or a train of thought. But it is tied in and it makes sense. So here we are. Try to pay attention to the feeling of existing. Now that might sound silly at first, but you'd be surprised the amount of people that go through their entire lives without actually at any point considering the fact that today is here and now is here, and how are you feeling right now? Are you feeling happy? Is there anything you want to do? Is there anything you're feeling grateful for? What's happening at the minute in your life? Look out the window. Are the trees blowing? Can you see something pretty? Is there anything to be appreciative of? It can be very uplifting. Simply opening your eyes and looking and listening at the now and whatever it feels like to be here in this moment. Not all negative emotions are necessarily negative. If something bad has happened to you and you're feeling sad in this moment, then feel it. Validate that emotion. Give yourself that time to truly feel the depths of the sadness that are inside you, in the hope that once you have felt it, you can move on from it, rather than ignoring everything, going through your life almost with blinkers on and letting everything pass you by, and then wondering why we feel just perpetually melancholy and mediocre, because you're not going to the lows, you're not dealing with the downs, so you can't appreciate the highs. You've always got to have one to have the other, both sides of a coin to make the single. So yeah, just as a little perspective, is trying to pay attention to just the feeling of existing and what's going on in your life at the minute, which generally it snaps you back out of getting too caught up in different things going on in your life, but it also snaps you back out of getting caught up with your thinking mind and becoming entirely internalized and consumed by either your own emotions, your own thoughts, or any other part of yourself that may be distracting you. So the fourth part that I want to go on to is, again, it's not something for you to do, it's just a kind of mentality, a perspective to think about. And that is more the fact that age is just a number, and it's as useless past the age of 18 or 21, depending on when your country determines you're an adult. It is as useless past the age of 18 as a chocolate teapot. People can become very dismissive, going both ways. Young people can be very dismissive of older people simply because they are older, and the same going backwards. Older generations can become very dismissive or very judgmental of younger generations simply because they are younger, and we assume this mentality that because the number's different, we're different. And I think that's very, very silly. I think people are people, obviously within reason, and age in certain situations does matter. But generally in your day-to-day life, meeting people at work or something, or meeting people in the street and just having a conversation with them, stuff like that, it really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if someone's 2 years older than you or 30 years younger than you. If they have something interesting to say and it resonates with you and it matters to you, then why not listen? Why not have that conversation with them? Yeah, that's just something that I've felt has kind of opened my eyes and broadened my horizons towards the people that I have in my life. Number 5's nice and easy, and as simple as it sounds. It takes no explanation. However, it will help massively improve your day-to-day life, and that is simply eating well and remembering to exercise. I'm sure we've all got to that point where you get 2 weeks into eating junk food that all of a sudden you realise you feel really grouchy or sluggish and tired and just bleh. If I can use that as a descriptive word. But yeah, and 9 times out of 10 with myself, and you may find that with yourself, it's because I'm eating like crap, and that fast food has a certain energy about it, and once you absorb enough of that energy through eating it, then it starts to weigh you down. The sugars and fats that are in fast food are a lot more fast. It's like the difference between having, if you want to be more scientific about it, it's like the difference between having a fibre bar in the morning or having a bar of chocolate. Yes, the bar of chocolate will give you lots of energy very quickly, but it will then also burn off very quickly and leave you feeling quite empty. So it's the same with all food that you eat. Good food will give you good energy, bad food will give you bad energy. And past that, the same is true with exercising. If it's not your thing, it's not your thing. However, it works for me. I find actually burning a bit of the energy at the end of every day helps really revitalise me, fills you with endorphins, and gives you that nice little happy buzz going into the rest of your day. And the last one is leading on to something I'm going to talk a bit more about in another video and have spoken about in the past, and that is simply don't live so much in your mind. It is so impossibly easy to become caught up in our heads and consumed entirely by that chattering monkey that runs around inside, spewing out whatever thought it seems to come up with. If you can, try meditation. Please see my last video if you haven't watched it yet on that. If you haven't, or if that's not something you want to try, then just take at least 5 minutes out of your day. If that's all you can manage, then fair enough, but even if it's just a minute, just take a moment out of your day to just suddenly pay attention to your mind, see what you're thinking about, see if it's quiet, see if it's just constant chatter going on, and try to give yourself that little break from it, that little moment of reprieve that should help you take a breath almost. It's like if you're getting really stressed out and you have that moment where you go and then you feel loads better afterwards and just a bit more relaxed. It's that, but for your mind, because your mind is as important, if not more important, than the rest of your body. As in my opinion, your mind is where you live, your body is just what's here to keep you on the planet and mean you can do things. Yeah, just wanted to chuck out some little perspectives that I hope will help you guys throughout your lives and throughout your days. Have a wonderful day. If you're not already, spread the love, and I will catch you guys in the next one.